Hello and good day. My name is Dandan, and you wouldn't believe what I did to get rid of that rash.
My name is Angie, and I'd rather give the story about how you got the rash. And this is Godless Longganisa.
The Media's Filipino Atheist Podcast.
If it's your first time here, Godless Longganisa is a podcast about skepticism and critical thinking, humanism, and freedom from religion.
This is a safe place where topics commonly perceived as taboo are brought to the table for discussion, served with logic, reason, and facts, minus the rash.
And extra cream.
Yeah. and
Oh my
she couldn't
goodness.
introduce herself right now, but we are joined by the lovely Hammy Chen.
Ham. Ham is now the official PA of Tito Dandan.
Yeah. And she was sleeping upstairs and then she decided to join me. Wait, we are recording. Why didn't you
Mhm.
tell me? She was meowing all her way down.
How dare
Mm,
you? You didn't even
you
call me.
didn't tell me. I was
So
waiting for
this
you to get ready.
this is her job. This is her
Yeah.
gracing us with her presence.
Yes. And later maybe when she wakes up she might groom herself. Yeah, so let's wait
Wait
and
and
see
see
what
what she
goes
has to
on.
offer us, diba? But
But
shout out to Siegfried
I
because
say free.
oh notice okay, pasensya na Siegfried. I swear I'm gonna be setting up my background next time. But look at Tito Danda's background. What?
Wait.
Look at that prettiness. Oh, thank you.
Actually,
Thank
I
you.
will set this up,
Mm-mm.
and maybe put it somewhere. I don't normally. It's so good because I don't want to wear it like outside.
No, same. I don't
Mm.
want to bring it outside. I
I
just
don't
keep
want
it
it to
in one corner and
snag.
I look at it. I'm
Mm.
like, it's so pretty. And then I touch it.
Mm.
So good. And then, check
It's
on
so
that.
much prettier in
In
person. Wait,
yes.
maybe maybe I can show you a different camera. Teka
Oh,
lang.
oh, ang yabang nito. Oh, hirap na ako with my camera. You're gonna be like, oh, look at my different angles.
teka lang.
Intayin mo lang ako. Intayin mo ako. Pag may different angles din ako, sige ka.
Ayan. Ayan, oh. Right. Hindi din kita eh. Pero the weaving is so much better in
It
person.
is. It is.
Mm.
Good quality.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh.
And now, the reason
So,
I bring up Siegfried, that sweetheart, is because he has the patience of Job. he he recommended this. He actually requested this episode a year ago.
um,
No, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was a year ago.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, Joanna of Castile,
Yes.
and I will admit that the more I dove into it, the sadder I felt. I did feel sad. I did feel
Yeah.
sad because it's not the easiest story. If you really think about it, ang messed up talaga.
Mm.
So, Siegfried, baby, this is for you.
Yay, shout out.
Yes. Now, let's get into it. Who is
Go.
this girl? Who is
Mm.
Joanna? Okay, so she was born in November 1479, and she passed away in on April 12th, 1555. So remember our girl Joanna on April 12th. Okay?
Yeah.
So her nickname historically is not so nice. She's known as Joanna the Mad. And when I say mad, I don't mean yung galit. I mean like,
Oh.
oh, okay? She was um, the nominal queen of Castile from 1504 and the queen of Aragon from 1516 to her death in 1555. Now, before you go, well, why is that so bad? Till the day she died. No, it's not that easy, and we're going to find out why. Okay? It
Yeah.
gets a little complicated. So she was the daughter of Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand II of Aragon. Now, here's a fun fact,
Ah.
everybody. Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand are the ones who funded the voyage of Columbus.
Oh.
That is a different box to open on a different day. But those are
Mm-hmm.
her parents. Okay? So, she was married by arrangement. You know how they do. All the arranged marriages. She was set up with the Austrian Archduke Philip the Handsome.
Ah.
So they got
Let's see.
married. You're gonna look him up?
Yeah. Sige,
Not
continue.
he's not overwhelming. He's
Okay.
underwhelming, but yeah,
No. Excuse me. No. No. I dispute that fact. This is
I object.
how you check. How dare you? Maybe this
I,
is handsome back in the
for
day.
them,
Yeah.
with all the inbreeding and shit, I don't know. I don't
Like
know,
his
but
nose is like consumed half of his face. At least half, or maybe a third.
hindi ba yung mga nanopsis sa ilong?
Why was Philip called handsome? Because of his hair and attractive gray blue eyes. Come
So the
on,
hair and the
hair and
eyes. So hanggang dito lang, hindi abot nose.
no wonder papangit nila noon.
Mm. Diba? The bar was like really low, diba?
Oh my
But so she marries Philip the Handsome, questionable, question mark, on October 20th, 1496. Okay,
Okay.
now, ito si Joanna, she had other siblings. So, following the deaths of her older brother John and
Mm-hmm.
her sister Isabella and her nephew Miguel, who all died between 1497 and 1500, Joanna eventually became the presumptive, presumptive, to the
Mm-hmm.
crowns of both Castile and Aragon
Okay.
because everybody else died
Oh.
off. She wasn't
Oh.
immediate. So everybody
Oh.
dropping like flies. Okay, sige na nga, bigay mo sa kanya. Parang gano'n. She wins by
Mm.
default, basically.
Oh, di parang kawawa naman, handsome pala. Handsome yun na pang-asawa.
So
Sige,
I
pagbigyan na
apologize.
natin.
Yeah. Okay, so when her mother passed away in 1504, that is when she became the Queen of Castile.
Okay.
Yeah, normal shit.
Mm.
Then, ito si father, si King Ferdinand, proclaimed himself the governor and administrator of Castile. Yeah, a moment of silence for the death of common courtesy. Diba? Parang,
Parang
oh,
how dare you?
my wife is gone. My
Mm-hmm.
turn. I can't take the throne, but I can sure as hell make myself governor. Diba?
Mm.
Go! The balls on this guy. So in 1506,
Toxic
Joanna's
daw.
husband Philip, see,
Mm.
not so handsome, became king of Castile. Okay?
Ah.
As Philip first, because this initiated the rule of the Habsburgs in Spanish
Mm.
kingdoms. And then Philip died the same year.
Mm.
Diba?
Mm.
So it was a good power move because it brought the Habsburgs into control. It was good for the Habsburgs. They can take a little more control. And she's cool with this. Like she's getting along with her husband for the most part. For the most part. But there you go. So even though, okay, despite the fact that she was the ruling queen of Castile, she actually had very little say or effect on national policy.
Oh.
Diba? Because, why? She was declared insane and then confined in the royal palace in Tordesillas under the orders of her father.
What the hell? Dad?
Dad, what the fuck? I'm a grown woman. I'm trying to run my country here. Nope, insane.
Oh my god.
Lock her up. Okay. Now, Here's the thing. Ito si king, her father, actually ruled as regent until he passed
Mm.
away in 1516. Okay?
Okay.
So, you think, okay, so the bastard's gone.
Mm.
She inherits his kingdom as well.
Mm.
Right? Right? Right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm,
Mm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Good. Good for her.
Okay. But, no. No. So, Catalina de Medrano and her husband, Hernando de Sandoval y Rojas, they participated and took care of Queen Joanna in Tordesillas.
Okay.
Okay? So now she has a caretaker. It's giving me
Mm-hmm.
very Britney vibes,
Yeah. Oh.
right?
Mm.
Someone is taking care of her at all times. Uh huh. Even Ham is like,
Yeah.
kiss my cat ass. She turns around. Okay. Now, the son of Joanna, Charles the First, became
Uh-huh.
king. Okay. And then while he was reigning the kingdom, Joanna was then nominally co-monarch. So, okay, but you think that's okay, but no, she was still confined. No choice.
Mm.
Like, we have no choice. We have to let her have her role, but we're going to keep
Mm.
her locked up so she can't do anything. That's basically the scenario we're building here. Okay? So she
Right.
passed, and to take note, she was confined and held prisoner like that. I'm going to say prisoner. I don't care what anybody says. She was held in that way until her
Mm.
death when she was 75 years old in 1555.
Mm.
And then her son, Charles, that's when he became the Holy Roman Emperor and then became
Mm-hmm.
the sole ruler of both Castile and Aragon.
Oh my god. It's so messy. I love it.
I love it. But yeah,
Sign me up. I'd like to know more.
for the
Okay.
mess, for the chaos.
Okay. So, without further ado, let's dive right in and find out more about Joanne of Castile. Right from when she was born in November 6, 1479 in the city of Toledo. Toledo yan dito sa Cebu eh.
Toledo.
Oh. I've been to
Toledo.
Toledo. It's really good. Yeah. It's
Mm.
a really nice
Okay.
place.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. In the Kingdom of Castile, she was the fourth but third surviving child and the second daughter of Isabella the First of Castile and Ferdinand the Second of Aragon, both members of the House of Trastamara. Trastamara. Yan. I just have to put in that accent, but
You
yeah.
had to make it sound Italian.
I was trying to make it sound. Wait, Trastamara. No, it still sounds. I'll work on it. I'll
Okay.
find my Italian somewhere
Mm-mm.
down there. Well, she had a fair complexion and brown eyes, and her hair color was between strawberry blonde and auburn, like her mother and sister Catherine. Interesting. Okay. Her siblings were Isabella, Queen of Portugal, John, Prince of Asturias. Asturias yan dito eh. Maria, Queen of Portugal, and Catherine, Queen of England. Wife of Henry the Eighth. The stinky boy.
Mm-hmm.
Stinky boy, yeah. Now, Joanna was educated and formally trained for a significant marriage that, as a royal family alliance, would extend the kingdom's power and security as well as its influence and peaceful relations with other ruling powers. Hmm. Okay, as an infanta or princess, she was not expected to be heiress to the throne of either Castile or Aragon, although through deaths she later inherited both thrones. Okay, so it
Good
was
for you,
written
I
naman
guess.
pala.
Yeah,
Okay.
good for you, girl. I don't know if that's
Mm-hmm.
a good thing or a bad thing. Like,
Oh. Now, Joanna's academic education consisted of canon and civil law. Whoa, taray. Genealogy and heraldry, grammar, history, languages, mathematics, philosophy, reading, spelling, and writing.
She was a
Ah,
smart girl.
yeah. And privileged, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the Castilian court, Joanna's main tutors were the Dominican priest Andres de Miranda, educator Beatriz Galindo, who was a member of the Queen's Court, and her mother, the Queen.
So Queen was all up in her education.
Good job. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I have a side question. Do you think the Queen secretly wanted to teach her daughter or daughters so
Mm-hmm.
that they wouldn't just be princesses and queens? Like, do you get this feeling that maybe she kind of wanted to empower them, or is it more of a flex because I have smart dad? Like, what do you? I don't know. Like
Mm-hmm.
this, when I was reading this, I was like, at first thought, like in today's society, if the mother is the one focused on teaching, you're like, yeah, go girl, like you're doing that motherly thing, you're giving that, you're educating. But given the time, like, is there a hidden motive? Is there an ulterior motive? The mother because she's a queen, ayun na mapahiya, or like I don't know. I was just thinking about it. Like, is this an honorable mention talaga? Is this a big deal? Like, I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe.
Oh, anybody, if they have thoughts, they can let us know. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Maybe if we can look at other queens then from other kingdoms, other
Sige.
places, if the
Mm-mm.
queens are doing it the same, maybe it's a custom for a queen to do that to their daughters.
Okay.
But if not, then this is really big for a queen to do.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Like direct,
Mm.
because usually they just hire people or make people
Or
do it.
maybe the queen is really, well, that's her upbringing. That's how she was brought
Ah,
up. Maybe I've
pwede.
learned from my parents, from my mom. And then if I was raised like that, then my children will have to be raised like that too.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That's a whole other Pandora's box of
Mm.
child rearing, but I get it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Giovanna's royal education included court etiquette, dancing, drawing, equestrian skills, music, and the needle arts of embroidery, needlepoint, and sewing.
Mhm.
Alam mo, I really feel that there's more to the queen educating their children. I don't know how accurate is this, but I've seen, well, series na the only time their children gets educated is for them to learn how to um do you call it house husbandry, like the housework,
Like the
like
housework.
embroidery, yeah, that's, and ano pa yung mga etiquettes, yan, mga ganyan.
Well, they call it the royal education.
Mm.
I'm guessing that's like what you do in the palace.
So I
I don't know.
really feel like the queen is doing something extra for her children by teaching her more
Mm-mm.
than that.
Siguro.
Okay.
We will
All
revisit
right.
that at another time.
Yeah. All right. Now, furthermore, she studied the Iberian Romance languages of Castilian, Leonese, Galician, Galician Portuguese, and Catalan, and became fluent in French and Latin. Spanish, okay. Catalan.
Mm-hmm.
Catalan is in Spain or Portugal. What's the Portugal?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In other words, I
Well,
think it's a dialect, right?
yeah. Oh. She also learned outdoor pursuits such as hawking. Wait, sobra na to. Sobra na to. This is not like regular upbringing. Hawking and
Mm-mm.
hunting. She was skilled at dancing and music. She played the clavichord, the guitar, and the monochord. Like well-rounded children. Hello,
Yeah,
Ham.
yeah.
Where are you going? You stay here. Okay. Now she's going to her.
She needs a
Okay.
snack.
Bye. Okay. Bye.
She needs a snack.
Okay. Late.
Okay, thoughts on her early life?
Well-rounded.
She had me at hawking.
Mm. Hawking and hunting. Come on.
Yeah, that's not norm. That's not really something that I see a lot of with the young princesses or even just young girls in that
Okay.
time, right? So You're gonna look it up, aren't you?
Wait, I just need to show you that Ham didn't leave. She's right
I
there.
judging you while you're
Yeah, he's so noisy.
Sabingham.
Okay.
No, like I'm gonna go behind the scenes now.
Mm.
Yeah, like yeah, I don't. I'm tired of being in front of the camera. I'm gonna go behind the scenes now.
She's
Diba?
probably envious that Joanna was raised like that, and Ham only knows how to do the litter box. Yeah.
Uh, That's good.
She doesn't know how to hunt. Yeah, she doesn't know how to hunt.
Oh, okay.
Mm. Yeah.
So now we move to marriage.
Okay.
The marriage that you're really upset about because he's not handsome.
Yeah. Come on.
Ah, the false. Can you imagine? Side note, can you imagine? Because
Mm.
sometimes you didn't get to see what they look like, right? What if
Mm.
you were Joanna and you're like, girl, you get to marry Philip the Handsome, and you're like,
Oh.
oh, and you seem like shit. Okay, you were oversold, oversold.
What's
Yeah,
that pretty spin? Oh my
you did well. They hyped
god.
your hype man did too much, basically. Okay. So let's talk about it though, because this is actually a very important part of this whole situation with Madame Joanna. So this contract between Joanna and Philip happened in 1496. Okay, so she was 16 years old and he was 18. Okay, and this happened in the Low Countries of Austria.
Mhm.
Mhm. Now, Philip's parents were Maximilian the First, the Holy Roman Emperor. That's how he became, I
Ah,
think. Later on, the brother or
yeah,
whoever. Yeah, because once they start marrying, you start taking over all that shit.
yeah.
So,
Mm.
yeah. So his parents were Maximilian the First, Holy Roman Emperor, and his first wife, which was the Duchess Mary of Burgundy, first wife of Maximilian. So
Oh.
those are the parents of Mr. Handsome. Okay. Now, this was supposed to be a marriage that would build an alliance between the Habsburgs and the Trastamaras, designed to
Mm.
strengthen both against French power. Because at the time, they were worried about the French gaining power. So you get the Habsburgs with, yeah, and then
Mm.
there you go. Okay, so this was the whole purpose of this marriage. Now, Joanna enters a proxy marriage at the Palacio de los Viveros in the city of Valladolid, Castile, where her parents had secretly married in 1469. Now, side note, her parents secretly married.
Diba? Hmm.
You know, one day we got to talk about Ferdinand here and Isabella
Kaya
because
nga.
they got a whole lot of shit going on. Like, I can't even. But there, so they have a proxy marriage in that place. Okay. So that means in August of 1496, Joanna left from the port of Laredo in northern Castile on the Atlantic Bay of Biscay. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, except for 1506, when she saw her younger sister Catherine, who was at the time the Dowager Princess of Wales,
Mm-hmm.
she would never see her siblings again.
Actually. Mm.
I think this is sad. This is one of
Mm.
those sad realities of the time.
Yeah.
Once you leave to get married, chances are you're never gonna see each other again. If not for the
Oh.
distance and where life takes you, for all you know, you're gonna go war with each other. You don't
Mm.
know what's gonna happen.
Oh. Parang ang nangyayari yata sa mga, I think sa mga ganyan, based on the series that I've been watching, is minsan nagiging ano nila na doon na lang sila nagkakaroon ng allies. Like, my sister is the queen of blah blah blah. My
Basically, it's
sister is
name
the thing
dropping,
of the thing. Ganun
and
na
that's
lang.
just like part of how it is. We're gonna name drop
Yeah.
hanggang doon na lang tayo. But
Yeah.
again, aside from that one sister, She's never going to see her siblings again because she's leaving to go
Mm.
marry Mr. Handsome. Okay. Now she started this journey to Brabant in the Low Countries, which actually is now current present day Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, and Germany.
Oh, I get Low Countries. Okay, go.
Mm-hmm. So
Mm.
this happens on August 22nd, 1496. So she's on her way
Mm.
over there. And then the formal marriage, okay, takes place on October 20th, 1496, which is now present day Brussels. This is where she gets married in present day
Oh.
Brussels.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Now, between 1498 and 1507, she gave birth to 6 children.
Wow.
Mr. Hanson did not waste time.
The look.
Uh huh. Uh-huh. 2 boys and 4 girls. And believe it or not, Miss Thang gave birth to emperors or queens. So she
Good
had two
job.
boys, 4 girls. All of them ended up being queens and emperors in their own right.
Well, significant eh, emperor kasi holy ano eh. Emperor
Yeah.
naman yung father niya eh, tapos queen.
Yep.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. When Joanna's brother John died out of still birth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was born, yeah, died. And the deaths of Joanna's older sister Isabella and Isabella's son Miguel, Joanna became the heiress to the Spanish kingdoms. And her remaining siblings, Maria and Catherine, who were well younger than her. Now, in 1502, the Castilian Cortes of Toro recognized Joanna as heiress to the Castilian throne and Philip as her consort. Okay, okay. So, she was announced. She was announced as the heiress talaga.
Yeah. Because
So,
everybody else
the,
died.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
the dad. Nako,
Mm-hmm.
nagalit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was named Princess of Asturias, the title traditionally given to the heir of Castile. Okay, I think I know why Siegfried chose this. It's pretty much like that of a series that I watched. Hmm. It's like
Do
House of the
tell.
Dragon. Yeah.
Mm.
House of the
Yeah.
Dragon. Na the princess was named heir to the throne, but
Mm-hmm.
then because she's a female, she wasn't recognized as the queen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In 1502, the Aragonese Cortes, which is Aragon, is a regional parliament for the Spanish community of Aragon, gathered in Zaragoza to swear an oath to Joanna as heiress. So exactly, okay. However, the Archbishop of Zaragoza, Alonso de Aragon, Puiset, okay, you need to
Mm-hmm.
remember this
Mm-hmm.
name, expressed firmly that this oath could only establish jurisprudence by way of a formal agreement on the succession between the Cortes and the king. Hmm. Ito ko ang isa sa
Kontrabida na
mga
si, ano.
kontrabida.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is,
Alam mo na
you can see where
mhm.
this, it's, the trouble is starting to brew, basically.
Oo.
Mm-hmm.
Naisip ko na agad. Alam mo yung priest sa Hunchback of Notre Dame? Ganun yung itsura niya na
Mm.
iniisip ko na agad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now in 1502, Philip, Joanna, and a large part of their court traveled to Toledo for Joanna to receive fealty from the Cortes of Castile as Princess of Asturias, heiress to the Castilian throne. Okay, now she and Philip and the majority of the court returned. Oh, wait, just Philip and the majority of the court returned to the Low Countries in the following year, leaving a pregnant Joanna in Madrid. Visit! Where she gave birth to her fourth child, Ferdinand, later a Central European monarch and Holy Roman Emperor as Ferdinand the First. Hmm. So, pinagsamantalahan na buntis siya. Eto naman kasi si Philip, ba't mo iniwan yung asawa mo? Hindi ka na nga gwapo.
I d-
Gwapo ka lang by title ko. Excuse me. Wait, I
millions.
wonder if Philip has anything to do with the Philip. Is it Philip the Second, where the Philippines was named after?
You know what? I think so. Well, he's Philip the First,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, so
maybe.
maybe they have. I don't know. All I know is, and I'm gonna just say it. You could already see how the men around her are not. Yeah. Okay. I'm not even gonna say it right now. We're gonna go into it later.
Wait, I want to make an excuse for Philip the First.
Okay.
Maybe
So
he
then,
really needs to go back. Talaga. Kasi parang, alam mo sa Game of Thrones kasi there has to be someone. May isang
yes.
family
Mm-mm.
doon. There needs to be someone in the
Representation.
castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I guess.
let's be fair.
Mm.
Let's be fair. She was pregnant. Baka hindi niya kakayanin yung trip.
Oh, oh.
Let's also be fair.
Okay.
But hindi rin eh. So
Mm.
anyway, moving on to her time as queen. I'm allergic to the
Okay.
men in this. I'm allergic to the men in this story. My allergies are kicking in. Okay, so upon the death of her mother, okay, in November of 1504, Joanna became queen, regent,
Mm.
queen regent, regnant of Castile, and then her husband became the king because
Mhm.
he's married to the queen.
Yeah.
He's king by marriage, and this happened in 1506. Okay, now
Mhm.
dito tayo kay Ferdinand II, her father. Okay, so he lost his monarchical status
Mm.
because his wife's will permitted him to govern in
Mhm.
Joanna's absence, or if Joanna was unwilling to rule herself until Joanna's heir could reach the age of 20. So, ito si Queen Isabella. So basically,
Mm.
she says, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to make her the queen. She's good. But in case she's got free will,
Mm.
she doesn't want to, or she's off on a trip, she was a vacay, and someone has to
Mm.
sit, okay, I'll give my husband temporary power to govern.
Mm.
So those are the only circumstances. If Joanna is absent,
Mm.
if she's unwilling to rule, she has to say, I don't feel, then he can do it.
Mm.
And it's only until Joanna's heir is 20 years old and can take over. So it's still a temporary gig.
Mm.
Now, I ask you this.
Mm.
Queen Isabella, why you do that to your husband?
Oo nga, oo nga, oo nga, oo nga, oo nga. Why? Why? Maybe she found out something. Something going
No,
on.
like for me, if my husband is doing a great job, if my husband's all good, even if and knowing how far down the line Joanna is, huh? Because she's way down at
Mm.
the bottom here.
Oh.
Why not just say, okay, until his death, my husband takes over?
Mm.
Or maybe because you have to pass it on. I don't know if you have to pass it on, but the power is actually still with Joanna and her
Oh.
blood.
Hmm.
The next heir just has to be 20 friggin' years old. That's
Hmm.
it.
And I think the more child that Joanna bears, the further down the line that her father becomes next to the throne.
And look at all her kids, emperors and
Hmm.
queens. Like
Yeah.
grandpa's not happy. Grandpa's mad. In fact, Ferdinand, he refused to accept this. So you know what he does? He minted Castilian coins in the name of Ferdinand and Joanna, King and Queen of Castile, Leon, and Aragon.
Hi, future Dandan here in post prod. I have spent an embarrassingly long time to look for these coins, but unfortunately I couldn't. All I can find are Ferdinand II coins and Philip the Handsome coins. Oh my
Nadiri
god!
siya.
As in and cheap. He made it. What if siguro kung walang written history about this, people will think that Joanna and Ferdinand
Are
and her
together.
dad, yeah,
It's sick. It's sick.
kadiri.
It's gross because he's not even a king anymore. Once Isabella's gone, who the fuck are you? Which means, Mr. Big Balls, your identity was actually linked to your wife. How you
Yeah.
like them apples? So here you are funding shit for Columbus when the bad bitch the whole time was Isabella.
Yeah.
Tumaas yung BP
That
mo ah.
that's his I think that's his claim to fame. Okay, so hindi philanthropic yung reasons. He's just an
A dick.
egomaniac. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And then take note, in early 1505, ito si Ferdinand
Mm.
persuaded the Cortes that Joanna's quote unquote illness is such that the said Queen Doña Joanna, Our Lady, cannot govern.
What the fuck?
So what happens? The Cortes are like, oh no, that's too bad. Okay, Ferdinand, you could be the guardian over Joanna and the kingdom's administrator and governor. We buy your story without even talking to her.
God. Ang sarap kurutin.
Diba?
As, mm,
Diba?
siguro kung mabubuhay ulit si Isabela, parang, what the hell?
Diba? However, so remember, Joanna is still married.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, he may not be handsome, but that's insulto yun. You feel it,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
So, get this. Philip's like, oh, hell no. Mm-mm, not on my watch. So, what does Philip do? He was not willing to accept this BS. So, and this is this is a threat to his chance of ruling Castile, right?
Hmm.
So he also mints some coins. I don't know why they're minting coins where they're getting the money to back up the coins, but he does it. He mints coins in the name of Philip and Joanna, King and Queen of Castile, Leon and Archdukes of Austria, etc., etc. I don't know how they're fitting it on a fucking coin, but they are. They're making space on these coins. Okay. So ano? Sa tingin mo
Mm.
ba si tatay papayag? Hell no! Ferdinand says, ganon na, and he says, I'm gonna go on a pro-French policy. Remember, the marriage was forged as a way to fight against the French power that was growing. Ferdinand goes and sleeps with the enemy and says, okay, we're gonna do a pro-French policy. And he marries Germaine de Foix, niece of Louis XII of France.
Gago!
Which, by the way, technically with all these bloodlines, was actually the great niece of, yeah. Ferdinand. And this was the hope that he wanted her to have a son to inherit Aragon and then hopefully Castile.
Ba't hindi lang siya kasi makontento sa Aragon?
He wants it all. He's used to... okay. I think he was just used to having everything his way and all the power. But then apparently, if this is the case, if we're to believe this, the power was Isabella the whole time. Or she had like a higher... now,
it's
in
giving
the Low
small dick
Countries,
energy.
It is, like super. Like Vienna sausage. So, in the Low Countries, this is where Joanna was kept in confinement. But her father-in-law, remember Maximilian?
Yeah.
He would secretly or semi-secretly visit her. He must have really cared about her. Like, it wasn't just...
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the effort. He would still visit her. And then he visits them on August 24th, 1505.
Mm-hmm.
She was released to welcome him. Okay?
Oh.
And he tries to comfort her. He really does. And he's trying to have like festivities, parties, whatever. And yeah, he would take her everywhere to public events.
Oh.
So he's like, okay, if this is all I can do, you're
Good
gonna
job.
make a public appearance. And then you know what
Mm-hmm.
she's doing? She's acting and looking wise. She's
Mm-hmm.
acting like a prudent queen. She's showing them that she is not insane.
Yeah.
And this was
Hello.
noted by the Venetian ambassador. So the Venetian ambassador
Mm.
is like, she's good. What are you guys talking
Mm.
about?
She's a
She's uh, she's a
crazy. Is it?
she's a class act. She's the real deal.
Mm.
So like, what are you guys doing now? To entertain Joanna, Philip and Maximilian, so her husband and her father-in-law, they dress in costumes, like incognito, and then they joust
Uh-huh.
against each other at night under torchlight. Okay, he may not be that handsome, but ang sweet naman.
In fairness, okay. Bumawi
Let's
naman pala sa character. Okay.
and let's joust each other so that she can go yay, woohoo, like
Mm.
entertain her. Now, Maximilian told Philip that he could only succeed as a monarch if husband and wife were one and the same.
What
So
does it
her
mean?
father-in-law is giving advice to his son,
Mm.
like if you want to be a king, if you want to be the monarch, you
Mm.
have to be one with your wife. This isn't gonna
Mm.
work. I love this guy. Where was this guy when I needed a good father-in-law? Like
Yeah
seriously.
nga.
Okay. So after that, the couple kind of reconciled. Now I think this is where I should note. I didn't focus on this because it was
Mm.
a lot of rumors. Rumor has it he was kind of like a ladies' guy, ladies' man. Ito si Philip.
Ah, okay. Well, kinda,
I mean,
normal
were they
naman sa mga
all? I
dati.
think
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I didn't want to focus on that, but
Mm.
this is probably why the advice seems odd if you're just hearing it
Oh.
for the first time. But here's Maximilian saying, "Look, you gotta start focusing on your wife, especially if you want to
Mm.
be king. So play your cards right." And so that's what he does. Okay, so Philip,
Oh.
um, he reconciles a little bit, and then he tried to gain support um,
Ah.
from the Castilian nobles.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, Joanna said, no, don't go against my father.
Oh.
She, this girl, she didn't want to go against her dad.
Ano ba?
And she didn't want to pit her husband
Joanne!
against her dad. Philip's ready, girl. So,
Go
yeah.
naman siya. Why not, girl? Ready na.
But see, here's the thing. Because he got remarried to the pro French side, right?
Oo.
It actually bit him in the ass because
Ha, ha, ha,
it
ha.
strengthened it strengthened the support of the people for Philip and Joanna in Castile. And then in 1505, the pair decided to travel to Castile.
Mhm.
Now, unfortunately, before they boarded the ship, Joanna insisted no female attendants to join the trip because she was afraid that Philip was going to have relations
Yeah.
with them on the ship. Okay?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, this played right into Philip's and Ferdinand's propaganda against her. Honest,
Wait,
really? Is
Philip.
it?
Excuse me. Philip, what? What are you doing?
Uh huh. So, the men in her life that she loves, she's
Hmm.
trying to reconcile with her husband. All she's asking is, please don't dick around on this voyage. Like we're trying to reconcile. Can you please not cheat on me while we're on this boat? And then her father, who she loves so much, or she has such respect for, she's telling her husband, "Please don't do shit to my dad." And the whole time, these two motherfuckers are plotting against
Tangina.
her. I know. And she's the mad one.
Oh,
Diba?
oh God.
Who wouldn't go crazy? Sige nga. And yet, we're not even done then. So, they leave Flanders on January 10th, 1506. And then their ship is wrecked. Their ships were wrecked, sorry, on the
Oh.
English coast. Okay?
Ah.
The couple were guests of Henry, the Prince of Wales, later Henry VIII. This is
Mm.
how she got to see her
Mm.
sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So they stay at Windsor
Ah.
Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And they were not able to leave until April 21st. And at this time, this is when there's this potential civil war about to break out in Castile. Okay.
Oh.
Now, ito si Philip. He was
Mm.
considering landing in Andalusia and summoning the nobles to take up arms against Ferdinand
Mm.
in Aragon. But instead, they ended up landing in Coruña on April 26th. And then, this is where the Castilian nobility abandoned Ferdinand en masse. So they're like, yeah, bye. Okay, it doesn't end there. So Ferdinand meets with Philip at
Mm-hmm.
Villa Fafilla on June Villa Fafilla.
Papi.
Okay, on June 27th, 1506. So it's June. These two men
Mm-hmm.
decide to meet. Okay, and they meet for like a private talk in a little church, a village church.
Okay.
To everyone's surprise, Ferdinand handed over the government of Castile to his most beloved children, and he
Uh-huh.
promised to retire in Aragon.
Okay.
So Philip and Ferdinand. Meanwhile, what the hell? Where's the queen? But okay, Philip and Ferdinand. They agree. They signed the Treaty of Villafafilla,
Mm-hmm.
secretly agreeing that Joanna's quote unquote infirmities and sufferings made her incapable of ruling, and promising to exclude her from government and to deprive the queen of crown and freedom.
Mm.
Now, ito si Ferdinand. The second
Mm.
agreement, he refused that one.
Mm.
Okay, so he probably refused the second agreement the same afternoon, declaring that Joanna should never be deprived of her rights as Queen Proprietress of Castile. A fortnight later, not being able to come to a fresh agreement with Philip, he effectively retained his right to interfere if he considered that his daughter's rights to have been infringed upon. And then he abandoned Castile for Aragon, leaving Philip to govern in the place of Joanna.
Philip naman
So,
eh.
ito naman si Ferdinand. I don't know if it was really the intention, like, no, that's still my daughter's birthright, or if
Mm.
that was his way of making sure he still had a say.
Oo. I feel like it's like that na parang para kay ano para mawala yung will ni Joanna to take over. I still hold you. I still hold power over you.
Maybe. All I know is I don't believe it was because he was fighting for his daughter.
No.
I think they were just happy to stick her in a castle somewhere, hide her away, and then sila na bahala.
Mm. And to make it look like they still have some good intentions for Joanna, and to the public at least, to make it look like they still have good intentions for Joanna. Oh, Joanna, um, oh, too bad she can't rule, but yeah, we're doing this for her. Wawa naman, I'm such a good father. And Philip naman, I'm such a good husband.
Diba?
Ang ina yung dalawa.
Diba? Exactly.
Mm.
Yung gigil ko when I read this was like, yeah, yeah. I probably, like, if I were in that situation, I probably would have pushed my husband off overboard on the ship,
Yeah. Mm.
you know,
Ay,
but
natulak.
that's just me. Diba? Ay, nandun na siya,
Ah.
sorry.
Mm.
Diba?
Oh my God. Oh
But,
no, my husband.
I know, I'm so
Ah.
heartbroken. But,
Ah.
speaking of Philip passing,
We move on to Philip's passing. Na by the virtue of the agreement of Villa Fafila, it looks like the name game.
money,
Come on.
money, but what even happened?
Yeah. Villa Fafila.
Viva moment, Fafila?
Yeah.
Fila.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. The procurators of the Cortes met at Valladolid, Castile on the 9th of July, 1506. On the 12th of July, they swore allegiance to Philip I and Joanna together as King and Queen of Castile and Leon, and to their son Charles as their heir apparent. This arrangement only lasted for a few months. September 25th, 1506, Philip died after a 5-day illness in the city of Burgos. These are places in Cebu. Burgos in Castile. The probable cause of death was typhoid fever, but there were rumors that his father-in-law, Ferdinand II, had poisoned him. Well, this happened while Joanna was pregnant with her sixth child. Who was Catherine? Okay, who later became Queen of Portugal. Okay, good for her. Okay na, sige magpatayan kayong dalawa. Tangina nyo. Now, on the 20th of December, 1506, Joanna was in the village of Torquemada in Castile, attempting to exercise her rights to rule alone in her town, on her own, named as Queen of Castile. The country fell into disorder because of what happened. Her son and heir apparent Charles, who was later named Charles I, was a 6-year-old child being raised in his aunt's care in northern European Flanders. Her father, Ferdinand II, remained in Aragon, allowing the crisis to grow. Gago pala eh. Akala ko ba king siya?
well, he was only, no, not anymore. He was only allowed to govern.
Mm.
But I think this
Oh.
was like a style niya. Na, kaya nyo ha. Sige, gagawin kayo
Mm.
siya.
I think it was okay. I think putang ina. Okay. I saw something. Nagigigil ako. Okay. Now, a regency council under Archbishop Cisneros was set up against the Queen's orders. Okay. But it was unable to manage the growing public disorder. Plague and famine devastated the kingdom, with supposedly half the population perishing of one or the other. Okay. The queen was unable to secure the funds required to assist her to protect her power. Ito na yung nanggigil ako, nakita ko eh. In the face of this, Ferdinand II returned to Castile in July 1507, and his arrival coincided with the remission of the plague and famine. Kainis. A development which quieted the instability and left an impression that his return has restored the health of the kingdom.
You bastard.
Ina mo.
And then you know what sucks? It's the timing, the way that they do these
Mm.
things. It's very well played so that it looks like he saved the day.
Alam mo, it's pretty much like what is happening now politically.
Hmm.
Parang, and well, at least there was a time that I can vividly remember that something will happen, like some a police officer will go like, here we will do this and that, and then someone, a political figure close to the administration, will come in and become the savior. So
Hmm.
ayun.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
basically opportunistic. You play it out, and then you
Mm.
time it so that you're the one who looks like, see, you need me. See,
Mm.
see, and what sucks is they set her up for failure. They set her up for failure. She can't do
Mm.
anything, and then you you embarrass her as well. It's
Mm.
so, oh my god. So Ferdinand II and Joanna, they meet, okay, in Castile, on July 30th, 1507. And Ferdinand forces her to yield her power over the kingdom of Castile and Leon to him, to himself. Okay? Now, August 17th of 1507, three members of the royal council were summoned, supposedly in her name,
Mm.
meaning she's the one na pinatawag sila, and were ordered to inform the grandees of her father, Ferdinand II's return to power.
Mm.
Okay? Now, quote unquote, that they should go to receive his highness and serve him as they would her person and more, end quote. However, she made it very evident that this was against her will by refusing to sign the instructions and issuing a statement that as queen regent that she did not endorse the
Oh.
surrender of her own royal powers. You would think people around her would get a clue. Huh? She's not
Mm.
signing anything? She's not. No. She's like, I'm not. I didn't call for this, guys. And people are still not paying attention. Diba?
Mm.
So,
Mm.
nonetheless, she was thereafter queen in name only. And all
Ah.
documents. So, yeah, in the documents, she's still queen. But anything was signed by her father, Ferdinand's signature. I, the king. So he was named administrator of the kingdom of the Cortes of Castile in 1510 and entrusted the government mainly to Archbishop Cisneros.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, this part I think is ridiculous. He has Joanna confined in the royal palace in Tordesillas near Valladolid in Castile.
Mm.
And in February 1509, after having dismissed all of her faithful servants, so he cuts that off too,
Uh-huh.
and having appointed a small group accountable
Mm.
only to him. Okay, Brittany, blink twice. Something's happening. Diba? What is
Ano
that called again?
naman?
Uh,
Uh,
what do they
ship
call it?
something.
Something ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that shit, but old school. Okay.
Mm.
Now, so the ones taking care of her report only to him. He changes everybody. And this is where the people were saying that she was insane or mad and
Mm.
that she took her husband's corpse with her to Tordesillas to keep it close to her. There's that rumor that she kept the corpse
What the fuck?
near. Oh, but don't worry, we're gonna discuss that in a minute. We're
Okay.
gonna touch on that. But now let's talk about the son, because remember, she still has an heir.
So apparently the bastard eventually dies in 1516 January. And this is when she finally became the Queen of Aragon. Okay. Cisneros and the Regency Council hid the news of her father's death from her, pretending he still lived and ruled. Ano ba? Why? Okay.
Because
Now
they're all
her
bastards. Diba?
now her son, who was 17 years old then, Charles, arrived in Asturias at the Bay of Biscay in October 1517. And until his arrival, the crown of Aragon was governed by, okay, Archbishop Alonso de Aragon. So, ay, sandali, teka. An illegitimate child of Ferdinand the Second. Kaya naman pala. Ta- Ay,
Look at Ham. Ham is like, you okay?
bastard.
Mm-hmm.
How? How did this happen? Okay, and her crown of mm, doesn't care. Okay, come on, entertain the viewers. Like, yeah, she's doing her naughty bits. Okay, all right. Now, her crown of Castile was governed by Cardinal Francisco Jimenez de Cisneros. Ano, and then apparent, I feel like this person is also an
In on it?
illegitimate child.
I don't know.
Really? Mimi? Or lover? Secret lover?
Oh.
Or secret lover ni Alonso. 'Di ba? Archbishop Alonso.
Wait.
Maybe, 'di ba? On the November 4 that year, Charles and his sister Eleanor meets their mother Joanna at Tordesillas and secured from her the necessary authorization to allow Charles to rule as her co-king of Castile and Leon and of Aragon. Hmm. Okay. Charles, ayusin mo ah. Gigigil ako. Pag ito, inayos. Hindi mo inayos. Now, despite her agreeing to his wishes, her confinement would continue. Ano ba, Charles? And Charles expanded the deceptions surrounding her, later hiding the 1519 death of Emperor Maximilian, father ni Philip. Yeah, Philip the First from her. Hmm.
And he was the one who was nice to her.
Oh.
Diba?
Ano ba naman si Joe? Okay. The Castilian Cortes meeting in Valladolid spited Charles by addressing him only as Su Alteza or Your Highness. So ano ba dapat? Okay. And reserving her majesty, majestad or majesty for Joanna. Okay, ininsulto siya. Small dick energy din. Like lolo. I think, I wasn't it Charles who was raised under Ferdinand? Or with Ferdinand, or Ferdinand raised Charles?
I thought he was in ano. I thought he was in the doon sa lower states ng with the other
Mhm.
grandpa.
Okay.
Di ba?
So I think Charles was, or hindi, maybe he's just a dick. Dick
Yeah.
din like his lolo. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. No one, yan. So apparently, despite the Castilian Cortes addressing Charles as Your Highness and Joanna as Your Majesty, no one seriously considered rule by Joanna a realistic proposition. Okay.
Yeah, because I think she's crazy, but she's not.
Okay. In 1519, Charles the First naman ruled the crown of Aragon and its territories and the crown of Castile and its territories in personal union. In addition, that same year, Charles was elected Holy Roman Emperor because his grandfather had died. Okay. So, Charles the First na
Maximilian.
to, ha? So,
Mhm.
this is Charles the Fifth. Now, the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon and Navarre remained in personal union until their jurisdictional unification in the early 18th century by the Nueva Planta decrees, while Charles eventually gave up his title as emperor of the Holy Roman Empire in favor of his brother Ferdinand and as King of Spain in favor of his son Philip. Medyo magulo na kasi. Bakit kasi ulit-ulit yung mga pangalan nyo?
Ewan ko.
Naiinis ako.
Mm.
Oh. An act that represented the transition from a universal empire to defense of the interests of the Austrian family. In other words, to a close alliance between two parts of the dynasty aimed at guaranteeing the hegemony? How do you say this? No, yeah, dominance of Catholicism and of the dynasty within Europe. Medyo magulo yung part na yun kasi may mga Ferdinand and Philip
Uh-uh.
na ibang tao.
So basically, he gives up the title to give it to someone else.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's like let's divide the titles so that each of us has the
Mm.
power, but then we're gonna vote in
Okay,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
common
okay. Gets.
cause.
Gets. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And then
Hmm.
I don't know, is his son the Philip of the Philippines?
I think, teka nga.
If it is, my gosh.
Philip the second son of Tama, siya nga. Son of Charles the Fifth and Isabella.
Wow.
Hmm.
All right. Well, all things end in revolution. No, so in 1520, the revolt of the Comuneros broke out in response to the perceived foreign Habsburg influence over Castile
Mhm.
through Charles V. You're like, wait a minute,
Ah,
who you? Wait a minute, the
yeah.
Habsburgs are taking over. No. So the rebel leaders demanded that Castile be governed in accordance with the supposed practices of the Catholic monarchs. And in an attempt to legitimize their rebellion, the Comuneros turned to Joanna. Oh, now you need a bitch. Now they're like, we need you, Joanna. Girl, step
Mommy.
up. Uh-huh. And as the sovereign monarch, she had she given written approval to the rebellion, it would have been legalized and they would have won.
Yeah.
Notice how I say would have.
Hmm.
Notice how I say would have. So, in an attempt to stop this, Don Antonio de Rojas Manrique, Bishop of Mallorca, he led a delegation of royal counselors to Tordesillas asking Joanna to sign a document denouncing the Comuneros.
Oh.
She was reluctant, like she was hesitating, and she requested that he be present. That he present her specific provisions about it. But before that could be done, the Comuneros in turn stormed and virtually undefended the city. Yeah. And requested her support. So they were trying to get to her first. Funny how when all of you are playing nice with each other, you don't need her. But now you need her to either start or stop the rebellion. Okay? Now, because the rebels come in and they're like, no, Joanna, Queen, we need you. This prompted Adrian of, what is this, Utrecht? Whatever the hell?
Yeah.
To the regent. He was appointed by Charles. This is the regent appointed by Charles V to declare that Charles would lose Castile if she granted her support.
Ah, teka.
So they played the son card,
Hmm.
the mommy card, basically. They played on her momminess.
Oh.
So he sent someone to tell them that if she agrees, I'm going to lose my quest. So what does mommy do? She was very sympathetic with the rebels. She really was. It's just she was thinking of her son. Okay? So she was persuaded by Ochoa de Landa and her confessor, Fray John, of Avila
Mhm.
that supporting the revolt would damage the country and her son's kinship very, very badly. And she therefore refused to sign the document granting her support. The Battle of Villalar confirmed that Charles would prevail over the revolt. She
Hmm.
chose her son and his position. She chose to protect that because I don't know, was it a lie though?
Now, more on what happened next. Okay. Now,
Mm.
Charles ensured his domination and throne by having his mother confined for the rest of her life in the now demolished royal palace in Tordesillas, Castile.
After she defended her ass, no?
Tangina mo. Wala kang utang na loob. Iinis ako sa mga tao.
I
Uh,
know.
Joanna's condition degenerated further. Now, she apparently became convinced that some of the nuns that took care of her wanted to kill her. No doubt.
You know what? I wouldn't even think that's paranoia.
Mm.
Would you?
No. Kasi, well, hello, after what happened to her, after na, anak niya na to well, anak, asawa, tatay, played around her,
Advisors?
advisors, oh my God. And she will have major trust issues. She wouldn't even trust her, her own head, diba?
Yeah, ba?
Reportedly, it was difficult for her to eat, sleep, bathe, and change her clothes.
Tawa ako.
Oh, she was a queen. All right.
No, here's the thing. She was a queen till the end. She just never got
Mm,
to rule like one.
yeah.
Diba?
In paper, she was a queen. Okay. Charles wrote to her caretakers, "It seems to me that the best and most suitable thing for you to do is to make sure that no person speaks with Her Majesty, for no good could come from it." Ano problema mo? Bakit?
Because
What?
imagine if somebody gets to talk to her.
Mm,
One of the basic necessities of a human being is human contact.
yeah.
Then
So,
what if somebody with sense and tries to convince her, like, you're not crazy?
mm,
Or they
mm,
tell her the truth.
yeah. Or parang maging confident ito ni Joanna, right, this confident will write her memorial or
Uh-huh.
something, and then release it to the world, then deads ang pagkaano mo. Actually,
Yeah.
kahit legacy na lang ni Charles, ganun ba siya?
Uh,
It's yung level ng insecurity niya na parang siya yung may paranoia dito na parang
yeah.
"Bu- girl, you're a king. King ka dito. So,
Uh-huh.
kahit na ano pang mangyari dito, naging king ka So, siguro ang mas na lang siya, insecure na lang siya sa legacy niya. He doesn't want
Yeah.
anything to come out and make him look bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Joanna's youngest daughter, Catherine of Austria, with her was with her during Ferdinand II's time as regent. Now, her older daughter, Eleanor of Austria, had created a semblance of a household within the palace rooms. In her final years, Joanna's physical state began to decline rapidly, and with mobility ever more difficult. Wow, wow. Eventually, on April 12, 1555, a Good Friday, Joanna died in the royal palace at Tordesillas.
I don't know. Maybe if the mother was not the first to pass away, I feel like this would have been very different.
Oh,
Very different. And the fact the mother secured her
mm.
title and the father did everything to fuck it up.
That's the
Technically,
fun.
he still
Mm.
respected. He still respected the
Oh,
wishes. She still had the title.
oh,
It's just
yeah.
I
Ay,
don't
ang
know.
gago
But Let's
I
talk
have a
about
feeling
the.
tuloy na
Oh,
that Ferdinand knew nothing about this until the very until the time na Isabella passed away. So that's when he
in the
found out
will.
now
The
in the
will.
will. Mm.
Huh.
Mm.
Maybe. Maybe.
Mm.
But let's talk about the mental health claims. Because this
Okay.
is the big question here. Was she really mad? So, as a young woman, she was actually, Joanna was known to be very highly intelligent.
Mm.
And it's widely disputed that she could ever be quote unquote mad.
Mm.
It was only after her marriage that the first suspicions of mental illness came out. So her
Ah.
mental health was never questioned until she got married. Now, some historians believe she may have had melancholia, which is a depressive disorder, a
Mm.
psychosis, bipolar disorder, or a case of inherited schizophrenia. Inherited.
From
Again,
whom?
my money is on Ferdinand.
I wonder who.
I say it's Ferdinand. I don't know. Now, according to some, she was already showing signs of some kind of mental instability around 1504 when her
Mm.
mother was stricken with a fever. Now, as it was seen throughout her lifetime, Joanna was not eating or sleeping when her mother got sick.
Oh.
Now, after visiting her mother,
Mm.
she wanted to join her husband in Flanders, which means that she would have had to travel through France at a time when France and Castile were at war. So this was she, when she was prevented from
Mm.
leaving for Flanders, she got angry.
What? Couldn't.
But is this really something to say she's crazy? I don't think so. She's
Yeah.
probably just
Oh.
frustrated,
Yeah.
right? So she may have also been unjustly painted as crazy or mad when her husband Philip the handsome
Mm.
talaga, and her father Ferdinand had a great deal to gain from her being declared sick or incompetent to rule. There was an ulterior motive for the
Mm.
two to band together and say, "Oh, she's not fit."
Mm.
So you have to start questioning like the intentions behind it. Now, the narrative of her alleged mental illness is perpetuated in some stories um, of the mental illness of her maternal grandmother,
Mm.
Isabella of Portugal, Queen of Castile, who, in widowhood, was exiled by her stepson to the castle of Arevalo in Avila,
Mm.
Castile. So here's the thing. Let's talk about Mr. Philip the
The
Handsome for a
handsome.
moment. The Handsome.
Okay.
Mr. Handsome. Okay? Because Joanna was reportedly super jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Because ito si Philip, okay, had frequent affairs.
Mm-hmm.
He was like forever cheating. Okay? Now, there are historical accounts that suggested that in a fit of rage and jealousy over some of these infidelities, she physically attacked one of his mistresses, cutting off the woman's hair and stabbing her in the face with a pair of scissors. She's my girl. I'm like,
Mm.
yes. I'm the queen, bitch. I will cut you. Literally.
Oh. Actually, yung rage niya directed din towards Philip the Handsome. for for being
Diba?
such a fuckboy. Yeah.
Now, this incident occurred in Flanders, probably after Joanna had been apart. You know how they would be apart for a
Uh,
long time? So, this might have been one of those times when they were apart for some
mm,
time. And then she came out of nowhere, like there's no text or
uh,
anything. Um, so, ito na.
and mm, and I think this is also the reason why she got mad, or she, was, well, she had a rage because she suspects that her husband was
Is fucking
philandering in
around.
Flanders. Na para, teka, dalhin niyo
Philandering
ako
in
in
Flanders?
Flanders, yeah. Philandering in
Okay.
Flanders.
Philandering in Flanders. And it doesn't end there. Okay. So so she cuts the girl's hair and cuts her face with a pair of scissors. She's like, I'm the queen, bitch. Okay.
Mm.
Gangster pala to si Joanna, di ba? So he was a notorious philanderer.
Yeah.
Because
See?
he's handsome, eh? It's the
Yeah,
nose.
eh.
But ito, it was an arranged marriage, but apparently Joanna really, really loved him. So
Oh.
she was driven to extreme jealousy. Okay?
Mm.
Now, her public displays of anger, rage, jealousy, whatever, distress over these affairs were later used by him and her father to say
Mm.
that she was mentally unstable. Hindi ba pwede you guys are just assholes? Diba?
Oo nga.
Anyway, they diba? You fuck her over, and then you say it's her fault
Oh.
that she's crazy. How about you guys
Mm.
just don't be assholes and see where this
Oo.
goes?
Ayusin
But then
nyo
they
mga
like it.
buhay nyo.
No, no, no. They like her to be insane because they
Mm.
want her power. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of the women in history need to be called either crazy, a witch, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
for men to take the power.
Isn't that what happened to Catherine too? Di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
She's,
topic for another day.
yeah.
And you know, do you remember someone commented a couple of seasons ago, like, why do you guys always talk about feminism? Because you guys are dicks.
Mm.
You're gonna stop me
Actually,
when I say mean?
I was going through our YouTube channel because I've been
Uh
uploading
huh.
for our older videos, and I saw parang in the comments na parang there was this guy who said that we were over, like, he got turned off by our feminist remarks.
Well, then maybe men in history shouldn't be dicks. How's
Kaya
that?
nga.
Feminist remark.
But
What is feminist about it?
na parang
What
we're
is feminist?
yeah, parang I think I can't remember. Actually, it was commented with our Puting Pinoy episode. I don't know what that comment was doing in that
Yeah, yeah.
video. Parang he got turned off daw by our comment, by a comment on a previous episode. Parang, come on, dude.
Okay. First of all, there is a female host. So if I
Mm.
want to talk shit, I will talk shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing because if you're stating a fact, like let's talk about si Maring Joanna ngayon. Maybe
Mm.
she had mental health issues. We don't know because there was no mental health physician, doctor, whatever back then. But ikaw, you're the
Mm.
fucking queen. You travel to your king and you find him fucking around. You're gonna cut the bitch's face. I'm already telling you. You're gonna cut her face. First,
Yeah.
I love you. You're my king. I missed you. I'm coming here for lovey-dovey, and then I walk in on you with some hoe. Sorry, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna get mad. Second, I'm the freaking queen, bitch. Why are you cheating on me like this? Tapos sabihin ni Tito Dandan, and you're not even that handsome, sir, to be doing this.
Oo. Yeah, you're only handsome in paper. I don't know who bestowed you that name. And we need to dispute that fact. You are not handsome, Philip the Handsome.
Okay, side note, at the end of this, let's take a poll. Put a picture and then ask, did he deserve to be called Philip the Handsome or not? Yes or no? Okay, so let's go back to her being called crazy, okay? So, because of that, they took control of the kingdom of Castile, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the attack on the mistress, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Although, okay, violence is never the answer.
Yeah,
Si
yeah.
Maring Joanna, she chose violence that day. It's
Mm-hmm.
not it was unacceptable for a royal woman to act that way.
Yeah.
Really? I would
Well,
not
that
have
day.
survived as a
Mm.
queen back then. Because I'd be slashing people left and right. Um, so they actually, if they, okay, in modern times, if they analyze her reaction, although
Mm-hmm.
it's still not right, you don't go around cutting people. It's just
Yeah.
they do say that it is not as extreme as the people then were trying to make it out to be. It's like
Mm-hmm.
an automatic response to it, like something that could happen today. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it is actually a reaction to the profound mistreatment and provocation by her husband.
Hmm.
He brought it upon himself, basically.
Yeah. Parang,
Because,
ano,
diba?
you act like a fuck around and find out. And now you
Diba?
found out.
You found out. Diba? So, they're saying it's still not a 100% acceptable reaction even today,
Yeah.
but the not acceptance, but like the understanding of how it reached that point is
Gets.
understand it. Yeah, we can understand it today
Mm. Mm.
because people snap. It's emotional. It's
Yeah.
everything. Now, the most notorious display of mental instability was when her husband passed away, September of 1506.
Yeah.
She refused to part with her deceased husband's remains for a very long time. I have a comment about this, but
Mm.
later. So she was
Okay.
super pregnant. Remember, she was still pregnant
Mm-hmm.
with her sixth child.
Yeah.
She traveled with the body of Paring Philip
Mm.
from Burgos to Granada, where he was going to be buried. And this is about 668 kilometers, which would have taken 6.5 hours to drive.
Sakit
To
sa puso.
drive, diba? So imagine traveling with no car, with a dead
Mm.
body, okay? Um, she was said to have opened the casket a lot of the times to hug him, kiss him. Is that so crazy?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's crazy?
Mm. Actually, no. No. I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so. I don't think so.
If somebody, if I guess, I think if it's anyone that um that would benefit Ferdinand or Philip at that time, they would have framed it as something na how the very loving wife would often kiss her husband's remain, blah blah blah. Blah. If
Because
ano,
it's
diba?
the narrative. It's the narrative. It's
Yeah.
however you like. I remember when my cousin passed away, his
Mm-hmm.
widow, she almost
Mm-hmm.
went into the grave with him.
Hmm.
She did not want to like if what's the longest ng buro, like 5 to 7 days,
I think so, depende. Yeah.
like five.
10?
She went
Mga
she
ganun.
went like 10, 15. She wanted to keep going because she didn't want to bury him yet, and people were like, you can't keep doing this, you gotta let him go. And then
Yeah.
at the cemetery, She makes them open the casket. I'm not talking just the lid. I'm talking but the glass.
Mm.
And I'm like, girl, no. And then she wanted to jump in. Like, it's grief. It's
Yeah.
grief. But you want to make her look like she's crazy. What's wrong with that, right?
Mm.
Now, um, they described her, like, the accounts describe her as suffering from grief and a little bit of
Mm.
paranoia after the death of Philip. Okay? And that led to her being confined for years. Although it was debated, like, is it because of just grief? Was there some kind of mental illness? Was she exploited for political gain? Malamang. And then they say that her behavior, some say, her behavior was a result of just grief
Mm.
and the political climate
Mm.
that led to her mental state. Because remember, she's like trying to get from one place to the other, and she can't because there's a war. And she's
Mm.
like, shit, I can't do anything. And yeah, so even while she was imprisoned, there were some who talked to her and said that she was still very intelligent and very lucid.
Mhm.
She wasn't like losing her mind. You could have a great conversation with her, even when she was confined.
This reminds me so much of what happened recently in our political climate. Speaking of political climate, let me just go back to that brief moment in time when there was someone in well competent enough to be in politics. And what did the men that she was against with framed her as? She was framed as lutang, she was framed as lugaw, she was framed as boba, when in fact she is actually still the most competent one out there. And what did they do? Tang ina nyong lahat, 'di ba? And look at where we are at now because of the men you elected. And yet you are still blaming her now for what
Nananahimik
these
yung
men
tao, di
did.
ba?
Oo, nananahimik yung tao eh, oh. I'm yelling right now for everyone around me to hear this. I hate that people did that to her in 2022. She was the most competent one out there.
Yeah.
Yung galit ko
Yeah.
asin.
Si Maring Joanna kasi.
Oh. Now, it has been argued that while she seemed to be unable or unwilling to rule herself, Joanna's major or political significance lay with her defense of the rights of her descendants and thus the Habsburg dynasty. While she did have affection for Philip, her refusal to bury her husband and attempt to bring her corpse to Granada so that he would lie beside her mother uh, was likely an attempt to ward off suitors and create a connection between Charles and Castile. Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Hmm. Facing the leaders of the Comunero revolt, she again chose the Habsburg dynasty over the Castilian heritage. Well, yeah.
It was her son. It
Mm,
was her son.
mm. Well, she provided Charles with many Habsburg siblings, and by extensions, these siblings' children, who upheld his rule. Many agree that this was Joanna's major success. Okay. Overall, Joanna was a troubled individual who was also not trained for the political world. I hate. Found herself surrounded by strong personalities and had to face a shocking amount of cruelty and deceit. This is the saddest part.
Super. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And that happens to a lot of people today who are not
Mm.
royalty. Just everyday life. It happens.
Yeah.
Paint someone as the villain so that you can take over. You can get rid of them. Right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
This is sad. This is sad.
It
Parang
is. It is sad.
she was brilliant. was a brilliant woman. Look at her education, and then she married, and then that sparked her downfall. Na parang hindi naman din siya may gusto rin ng kasal na yun, no? No, she was.
Actually,
Mm,
really, because even it does. I don't think it matters who her husband was. Well, no, it might have mattered, but her dad was in
oh.
it for himself.
Hmm.
So
Parang ay
technically,
nga, no, I think. Oo nga, no, tangina. It was all Ferdinand's fault.
mhm,
Mm,
Isabella already tried to protect Joanna. So
mm,
let's think about this. Why would Isabella have gone through that in her will to protect
mm,
Isabella? I no, sorry. Why would Isabella go so far as to protect Joanna that way from her own husband, from the dad of Joanna?
mm.
Unless she already knew he was a. Mm.
Let's see. I think there was really something that Ferdinand II did. I think nabasa na ni ano ni Isabella what yung kaluluwa having married to this man
Mm-hmm.
Ferdinand II. Oh, the second of
That's what
Aragon.
I think. Mm-mm.
Basang-basa niya na ang lalaking ito.
Yeah, yeah. That's my takeaway. Yeah.
Or parang well, Isabella died of 'di ba, of sickness. Parang she
Mm-hmm.
heard something that's and she
Maybe.
felt that that Ferdinand is not fit to rule, or she doesn't want Ferdinand to rule Castile. That's why she did all that.
Well,
Pero
boss move yan on her part. It's
hmm hmm
just all these, and then your own son, Joanna's
hmm
own son, screwed her
George
over.
the Fifth. Oh.
Sana nagmana siya kay Maximilian. Instead, nagmana
Hmm.
siya kay Ferdinand.
Diyos ko, at
Ah,
all the lolo naman,
diba?
napapaniwalaan. Ay.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Mm.
hurts.
It hurts. Pero, alam mo, ito na kasi yung a brilliant woman could have gone a long way or better if she didn't touch politics.
Well, she
Pero
did,
kasi ito
technically.
na, babalik na naman tayo dun sa reason that people do not want to have strong women in power.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
There's, if you look back on it, let's just, historically speaking,
Hmm.
any powerful woman in a position can rule for a long time. They can, but they're
Hmm.
always painted with something extra.
Hmm.
Always. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, why do you always have to point out weird shit just to downplay the role of the woman?
Hmm.
It's weird. It's weird. And this is not a feminist whatever, okay? Because
Hmm.
feminism is about having equal opportunities. I'm not saying that they're any
Yeah.
better. It's just, it's questionable. You know?
Oh. Well, these people
Why?
who give those narratives about feminism confuse feminism with misandry.
Mm,
Feminism doesn't mean that you hate men in power.
no,
It's that
no,
at this time, when we talk about these things happening to women in the past, it was always because of men who did shit.
mm,
Like because of this, Ferdinand II and Philip the First, who are jackasses, uh,
uh-huh.
who are philandering in Flanders.
And look at that. They both needed her on the minted coins
Mm.
to make it legit.
Oh.
So you still need her. And then they let her, okay, you'll still be queen on paper because we have no choice because by law, according to your mother in her will, you still have to be queen.
Yeah.
But then they found the loopholes. Alam mo yun? They found all the loopholes. Kawawa siya. Siegfried, why? Why this Siegfried?
Why? Why did you take us here, take free? uh, uh. But anyway, we appreciate that
Oh,
nonetheless,
absolutely.
Siegfried. We thank you for taking us here, and thank you for taking your Tita Angie in this rabbit hole, and for
Mhm.
taking me into a really high blood pressure. But I really appreciate your support, Siegfried, nonetheless.
Yes.
And I really appreciate everyone supporting us to this day, even in our absence. So,
Mhm.
if you still want to support us, well, if you are still one of those people who support us and who wants to support us in the future, you can follow us in social media. We are Gales Chorizo on Instagram and Twitter.
We are Goddess Longanisa on Facebook.
And you can also find us on Reddit, Godless Longanisa. And if you want to send us an email, godlesslonganisa@gmail.com.
Yay! And if you'd like to
Yay.
become one of our heavenly bodies,
Yeah. Oh, actually, we are setting up a different mode of payment, and hopefully in the next by this episode, by this time that this episode is aired, we already have that set up. But
yes.
as of this point, you can check out our Patreon page, Godless Longanisa. There, well, we still have some free content there. You can find older episodes there. Yeah, and even the things that we can't upload on YouTube because YouTube is being an asshole, Ferdinand II Philip to us. So,
Okay.
but yes, you can also find us on YouTube. By the way, we are Galas Longanisa on YouTube. So there's that.
Mhm.
So yes, that I think is gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much, Angie, for taking
Thank
us in
you,
this rabbit
Tita
hole. And
Danda.
thank you again. Thank you again to Siegfried and
Yes,
to all our followers. Yeah. So until next time in another episode of Goddess La Canita, this has been your hosts Tito Dandan.
and Tita Angie.
God bless everyone.
God bless.